Hey guys, so we'll see how long my voice holds out. I'm actually at home sick today, but one of the books I picked up this week was the Swamp Thing facsimile issue 37 from DC. This is the original cover by Steve Bissette and John Titleben. Two big things happen in this issue. We get the introduction of John Constantine, and Alec Holland, aka Swamp Thing, who has been missing for a few issues since he ran into Nuke Face, is regrowing his body slowly. This also builds to what will end up being a massive story in the next year worth of Swamp Thing. But we get art by Rick Veitch in this issue instead of Steve Bissette, still ably inked by John Titleben. And we get to see the love between Abby and Swamp Thing. We get to see that she's taking care of him as he gets reborn in this new body. We also get to see some of the characters, Judith and the nun, that John Constantine is dealing with to deal with this existential size threat that is coming to the world that will reveal itself, like I said, in about a year or so in the book. So between the artwork and the fact that you have the slow regeneration of Swamp Thing and the rebuilding of who he is, then you get, it's one of those issues that you really, when you sit down and read it, you feel the weight of it. You feel something big is coming. And that's what Alan Moore was great at early on in this series, and even at the end. But early on, he was very good about building up something just cosmic level. And the deal was that Swamp Thing would be the only one that could deal with whatever was going on. So it is definitely one of the greatest hits that ever came out because it introduced John Constantine, who is one of the premier magicians in DC lore. It also teaches us that Swamp Thing can regenerate himself anywhere in the universe that has plant life. So I'm understating it because I'm not feeling well, but this is one of the best issues that I've read. The artwork in it is horrific at times, and also very, very detailed. You still feel like you're getting top-notch art, even though Steve Bissette had taken the month off. But at the end of the day, you get almost like a rebirth of the character. You get a turning of the tide, and you get an idea of where the series is going from here. So after Nuke Face, then you really didn't know if Swamp Thing was going to be able to regenerate because he fed him that biorestorative formula that was in a can that he was drinking like it was beer. But when he fed it to Swamp Thing, it was extremely, extremely toxic. So even though issue 64, I believe, is called Rebirth, then this was actually the issue that rebirth and regeneration and a new lease on life was shown, and it was shown that it was a lot harder to kill Swamp Thing than what people thought. He was much, much more, again, than just a plant-based figure. But now Constantine reminds him, or lets him know, rather, that he's an elemental, one of the most powerful beings, creatures in the entire planet, if not the entire universe. So I thoroughly enjoyed rereading this. I've got all the trades of the series, but sometimes it's good to read in floppy form. So if you guys get a chance, go check this out. I think there's just a straight virgin cover, so a yellow cover. There's also another cover, which I believe is done by Kelly Jones, and it references this one, but it looks just a little bit differently. And then there's also a foil cover that came out, and I think it's $1 or $2 more than the regular cover. So thanks for checking out this greatest hit with me, and we'll see you guys in the next video.